All right. What's up, everybody? It's David, and we're getting right back to the Sixers talk because this is just going to be a Sixers channel, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really felt haven't felt the need to really make videos other than Sixers videos, and other videos kind of just take more effort and thinking. And I just got done watching the Sixers game. Well, a couple hours ago. What is it? Like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning right now. I work overnight at a hotel, so it's just I have nothing better to do. So let's get into it. This is going to be kind of like a game recap. We just played the Knicks on the second half of a back-to-back in New York, won the game 101 to 100, and it was a pretty good game. And maybe I'll do like a team like recap since it's been a little while since I talked about the whole team and how they are like up until this point. But we're gonna start off with the game just because that's fresh in my mind. Even though I did miss the last 5 minutes of the game, that kind of sucked. I had to drive here. I didn't want it to go to overtime, so I couldn't watch the last 5 minutes of the game. I couldn't watch the overtime period. I listened to it on the radio. Heard that Danny Green was making clutch threes. Tobias was kind of bailing himself out after he folded like multiple times at the end of the game, and we got the W somehow. We got the W. This is a game that I was uncertain. I feel like normally when I watch the Sixers games, I can tell like if like we're gonna win or if we're gonna lose or if it's gonna be a close game or not. Like I normally have a pretty good feel for like what's gonna happen in the game. But this was a game I was watching and I was like, I have no idea how this is gonna end. I was like the whole game, I was like, we could lose this game, we could win this game. I just would not be surprised no matter what the fuck happens. And we pulled it out, and it's really impressive to me how we keep pulling these games out like this without our best player. I mean, the Knicks aren't a bad team. They're not a good team. They're kind of average. I mean, their record is what 21 and 22 now since they lost to us. I mean, they're basically the definition of average. They win as many games as they lose. But for a team like us without our best player, I think it's really telling how we can win games like this that are tough against like a tough grinded out team like the Knicks, and we can win games like yesterday against the Kings, who the Kings kind of suck. Don't get me wrong, but like they're not the worst team in the league, and we can blow them out without our two best players and a starter. We missed three starters and blew the Kings out yesterday. Like I just really like the vibes I'm getting from the team right now. Like it's really, really, really fun to be a Sixers fan at this moment. Even without our best player, it's still really fucking fun. I really enjoyed it. So let's get into the game. Like my takeaways. It wasn't. I guess we'll start with Ben, best player that was playing. Um, oh well, we'll start with the actual best player in Embiid. I actually read an update that said like he was feeling better than expected, like to this point in his injury recovery. So that's good news. That's a good sign. Last time Embiid suffered a bone bruise. At this time, we got news that it was actually a torn meniscus. So it's like the opposite of what we're getting now. So I like that we're getting good news right now. It's cool. Like good things happen to the Sixers sometimes. Like who would fucking guess? But I I still don't want to get too optimistic. I feel like he'll be fine. Like I said in the last video, he'll be fine. But I'm not sure if that's just me telling myself that shit or if it's actually going to be fine. Who the fuck knows with this team when it comes to injuries? Just who knows? But all right, now let's start with the best player who's actually playing, Ben Simmons. Ben had a forgettable offensive game, I want to say. Like it wasn't. I thought in the first half he was good. I thought that maybe he would, score more and produce more in the second half, like or throughout the entire game. But I think he ended up with like 16 points, maybe 8 rebounds, 4 assists on the offense. Like that's just an average Ben game. That's basically the game you're gonna get when you have a 6'10" guy that doesn't have a jumper. That's just average Ben game. So I'm not really shocked, surprised, excited, or disappointed. I'm just kind of I can't think of the word. I'm just kind of neutral on the Ben Simmons offensive game. Defensively, Ben Simmons played amazing. That's what Ben Simmons does every game. He's just amazing defensively. Like there's multiple plays in every game where I'm just like, oh my god, Ben Simmons is such a good defender. Like it's crazy. It's crazy some of the things he does on defense. How he rotates. How he's able to cover basically anybody on the court at any given time. How he how he always has an eye for the ball. Like his awareness is just like impossible, and it's like a combination of awareness, basketball IQ, like positioning, like quickness, like I just size. Like I don't understand how you could be 6'10", like two whatever. I think it's like 240 or 220 that Ben weighs. Ben weighs a good amount. So he's not a small person, but he's still so fucking fast and so quick, and he just knows where to be, and it's just I just love watching Ben Simmons play defense, man. It's so good. It's so good watching him play defense. It's so fun. So that was what I thought. That's what I got from Ben's game today. Let's see. The second best player on the team currently playing, Tobias Harris. I had to give him that mantle. I mean, I think he kind of always had that mantle, but he's expected to produce more for his contract today. And I made the apology video yesterday, so maybe I kind of jinxed it. But today was not really Tobias' day. I heard on the radio he had two clutch free throws at the end that got us the lead on a possibly suspect foul call, and he hit a three in that overtime as well. So he kind of started, getting buckets when it mattered, but he kind of also put us in that situation in the first place. Like if he would have just made one free throw at the end of regulation, we would not have been there. If he didn't shoot like 4 for 16 in regulation, we would not have been there. But can't have it all, I guess. I don't know. We're not gonna completely take away the apology just for one bad game, even though this was kind of a head scratcher for Tobias Harris, honestly. But he bailed us out at the end. Um, can't I didn't really notice anything on the other side of the ball for Tobias. I mean, just Tobias being Tobias. Who I really want to talk about, because I don't know if I really have anything else on anybody. Oh well, I have something on Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard should not be taking jumpers. I don't care that they go in sometimes, whatever. No, no one's ever gonna respect that jumper, and it's never gonna go in like enough for it to be a reasonable shot. Like it's just a dumb shot. It's a dumb thing for Dwight Howard to do. And I mean, by all means, prove me wrong, Dwight. Keep shooting them. They've been going in sometimes, I guess. So maybe if he keeps making them, I'll look stupid. But I don't think I'm saying anything bold or anything controversial by saying that Dwight Howard should not be taking jumpers. He just shouldn't be doing it. I don't know why that's the thing that happens so regularly. I guess like Dwight just knows like you can't fucking replace me. There's no other center on here on this team that does the things I do. So you're gonna have to live with me taking jumpers. It's just what you're gonna have to do. I'm in the twilight of my career. I'm having fun, and I love that about Dwight though. He has a lot of fun. He has the most fun out of everybody. Maybe Embiid has more fun just because he's better. But I don't know. I think Dwight might be giving him more for his money because Dwight just seems like he's having fun 24/7 on the basketball court, and that makes my watching experience fun because I like to watch people have fun. But excuse me, what I wanted to really talk about was Shake. The last two Shake games have been really, really, really good. Like his confidence has seemed to really improved from where it was earlier in the season, or not even early in the season. Because early in the season he was hitting his mid ranges, he was getting his little floaters, but I think somewhere before these last two games, like for maybe like a week or two, maybe three, I feel like his confidence has sort of wavered a little bit, and I feel like it's like maybe shots weren't going in, maybe there's like an injury that we're just not that's not being made public because he's still playing through it, so he doesn't how that goes, but like, I don't know. It just seemed weird. Like he didn't seem as confident. His shots weren't going in. He was shooting pretty inefficiently for a little while, and it was kind of concerning. But I think now I'm seeing a different confidence in his game. Like he's attacking the basket way harder. He's taking shots. I feel like a week ago he was kind of fraying away from shots and not forcing the issue as much. And I think that's just no, Sheik, you're a third three-level scorer. You're the only one on this team. You're the only one that can do that. So you have to do that. If you want to take a deep three off the dribble, fucking do it. Like no one else is going to do that shit. We'd rather have Korkmaz take that shot. Like I don't know, man. Sheik, you just need to shoot the ball. You need to be confident. You're a good player, and I love it. I love the lad what he's done over the last two games. I think he had 28 in the previous game on 9 for 15 or 9 for 16 from the field. And that's obviously fucking amazing. And I think he had 21 or 22 this game, off of a similar shooting percentage, 9 for 13 or 14. I think he even shot more efficiently this game, and he's been getting to the line a little bit. And I just like what I'm seeing from Shake, man. Shake has been playing more aggressive and confidently, and I really, really am here for it. I really don't notice what Shake does on defense, so I guess that's kind of positive. I feel like we've been playing pretty good defense the last two games, though. We held the Knicks to 100, and we played in overtime, even though the Knicks aren't an offensive juggernaut or some shit. And the Kings, who I think is a pretty good offensive team. I think the Kings are a good offensive team. They're horrible defensively. They're horrendous. They're the 31st or the 30th defense or the 29th defense in the league or some shit. They're not good. on defense at all. And we seen that because the Sixers scored like 130 points on their defense, missing their like three starters. Like they were missing like 60 points a game in that game, and they still managed to put up 130 on the Kings. And I'm not sure the Kings were really missing anybody. So that's just an indictment on their defense. That shit sucks. But their offense, I think, is pretty good. And the Sixers ragtag squad really like held it down. They didn't do really what they wanted to do. And I think a lot of that was that Danny Green was not guarding De'Aaron Fox this time nearly as much. I don't know. They learned their lesson from last time. I think they had Thibault on him early. And maybe Maxey, I think, because Maxey got some more run that game too because Ben wasn't playing. So I think it was Maxey and Thibault and maybe some Shake. And maybe they had Danny Green on him a little bit, but I don't think that that was like a primary matchup because he was getting abused. And Buddy Hield was really good that game for them. I do want to shout out Buddy Hield on that game. His shot was on, but I'm not really sure if Buddy's shot isn't on like that. I'm not really sure what else he does to be a positive player. De'Aaron Fox was okay. He was cool, but again, I'm not sure De'Aaron Fox is a winning player either though because if you scheme for the fact that he's fast, I don't know what else he brings to the team. Like I don't know offensively or defensively what he brings to the team. Like he's not spacing the floor. He's not. I'm not really sure. Maybe he does run an offense. Maybe I just need to watch more Kings games. But I feel like he doesn't really like run an offense. He doesn't really play like in control, like and set a pace for the team. He just kind of sets his own pace with his speed. Like I feel like Halliburton is more so like a player that I feel like when he has the ball, he sets a pace and he like can run an offense that like can win in the NBA. I don't know about De'Aaron Fox. I have question marks about him. Like whenever I watch him play, I feel like it's not even this one Sixers game. I feel like I've watched him play previous games, and I'm just like, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing how necessarily De'Aaron Fox is like a winning basketball player. But that's just like Kings takes. I'm not a fucking I don't watch the Kings, so who knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But if I had some Knicks takes, I would say that Julius Randle is actually might be good. I think Julius Randle is good. I was a doubter of Julius Randle early on in the season. I didn't think that his 3-point shooting would like hold up. I didn't think that his numbers would hold up, and they are holding up. He plays with like an aggressiveness, like and like he probably weighs like 250 or 60 pounds, but he has quick feet and like he's like decisive and he understands leverage. Like he has a really good spin move because he knows that he weighs a lot. So like if Joyce Randle is driving in one direction, like he knows that in order to stop him because he's so big that you have to really sell out on that direction. Like you have to put all your weight to that direction and have a chance of stopping him from getting to the basket. And he counters that with a spin move, and that spin move is fucking butter. And when you anticipate the spin move or you kind of play him off balance because you don't know if he's just selling the side to spin or what he's going to do, he can just go right through you if you don't commit 100% to stopping him from going in a straight line. He's just going to go through you. Like it's not there's nothing you can do about that shit. And it's like he just I don't know. He plays basketball like a football player, and I like it. I really do. If his shooting like keeps up the way it is, then he's gonna be a really good player in this league for years. I don't know how his knees are gonna hold up because he is big, and I feel like his quickness is what's allowing him to be as good as he is right now. But like, and I don't know if that diminishes if he gets an injury, God forbid, or whatever. But like, cause when you're that big, your knees are just bound to like have some wear and tear and get hurt, especially how aggressively he plays too. So that's a concern for me with him. Other players on the Knicks, I like quickly. He has a nice little floater. That stuff be going in. I think he's a rookie though, so you can look for him in a couple years. Um, who else? I always love watching Nerlens. I like Nerlens still. He's just too skinny to be like a starting center on a team. But I think a center needy team could use a player like Nerlens Noel. He's still a good rim protector. He doesn't get no fucking rebounds. He definitely doesn't do that. He's not very good on offense. But like if he were to be on a team like the Nets, he would make them a lot better. I think like he's kind of like exactly well not exactly what they need because they need rebounding. And he's not a good rebounder, but he's a really good rim protector. And I feel like he could be a really good like rim running like lob threat for like James Harden or like Kyrie Irving to like use in a pick and roll. Definitely James Harden. James Harden would make Nerlens Noel like a really good player, I think. But that's it on like the Knicks. For the rest of the team, like the rest of the Sixers team, the rest of the season, I don't really know what to say. We have like a West Coast trip coming up. I think I'm not sure who we play next. Dang, I feel like feel like I knew, but after whoever we play next, we play the Lakers, and then we play the Clippers, and then I think we play the Nuggets. Like it's a lot of hard games. The Lakers game is made a lot easier by the fact that LeBron is hurt, and I don't know when AD is coming back. I don't think AD is going to be back for that game. I doubt it. So I think we should beat the Lakers, especially how we've been looking, especially since Ben is playing. Seth should be back for that game. So we should beat the Lakers, but I'm like, man, this is going to be a rough road trip without our best player. We just need to go 500. We need to find a way to go 500, and I will be okay with that. I will be all right. I'm just worried that really we're gonna lose the one seed. I'm trying to resign myself to the fact that okay, we're not going to be the number one seed. Like at least not after this road trip. Maybe we could get it back by the end of the season if Embiid comes back and we start, because I think our record with Embiid's crazy. Our record with Embiid is like 19-2 or some crap. Like when we have the starting lineup, I think we're like 18-1 or 19-1 or some shit. Like it's not like we don't fuck around. We're a really good team when everybody plays, but it's just the thing with the Sixers, man. Everybody just does not fucking play. That just never happens. It's not. It just doesn't happen. Someone's always hurt, and that sucks. It really does. But hopefully by the playoffs, we're healthy. I feel like we say this every year. Hopefully by the playoffs, everyone's healthy. But hopefully by the playoffs, everyone's healthy. That's all we can say. That's all we can hope for. And so yeah, that was a good win. That was a good win today, though. I would take the win, and hopefully there's more to come in this season. Hopefully there's a lot more to come. Well, not in the season. There's definitely gonna be more wins to come this season. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But in this road trip, hopefully there's more wins to come because I don't think we play home again until next month. So it's definitely we're gonna have at least like 5 or 6 more road games in a row. So hopefully we keep the wins coming. We can sustain this level of play without Embiid. Honestly, we're playing way better than I thought we would without Embiid. I think before Embiid got hurt, we were like 1-6 without Embiid, or like 2-6, and now we're like 5-6 without Embiid playing in the lineup, which is really good. That's really good. All you can do is hope to play 500 basketball when you're missing your best player. Unless you're like the fucking Nets where you have like two like superstar players that can carry a team by themselves. Then like you guys can win like 12 out of 13 games or whatever the fuck and you don't even need a center. I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared of the Nets, honestly. The Nets kind of put like a damper on my whole Sixers parade because it just feels like we're destined to lose to them in 6 games. Like it's just what's gonna happen unless we get like a Kyle Lowry, or if they get like Andre Drummond or like another center, like a legitimate center, not like fucking the corpse of DeAndre Jordan, and we're totally fucked. Like that shit's over. Like it's just nothing that we're gonna be able to do with that Nets team, man. I mean, we do have defensive bodies. We can put a Ben Simmons on a Kevin Durant. We can put a Matisse Thybulle on James Harden. Like, but who's gonna guard Kyrie in this situation? Like, Danny Green's a good defender. Don't get me wrong. I did want to talk about Danny Green too. I forgot about that because Danny Green played amazing defense, was hitting clutch threes, was doing just a really good job. I really, really, really liked the Danny Green game today. He had what, 3 blocks, 5 steals, was making some really tough threes. Exactly what this team needs. I don't know why. There's a lot of people out there that don't like Danny Green, like on NBA Twitter, on Reddit. I be reading it, and I just don't. I still just don't ever get it. I don't get it. But I've said this multiple times. I've said this probably like in 3 different videos already. That I just don't understand the disdain that everybody has for Danny Green. He's a good player in my eyes. He would be a good piece to trade. I'm not opposed to trading Danny Green. I'm not saying that he should be on the Sixers forever and ever and ever. We should retire his jersey. But like for what he is, he's really good. I'm a fan of Danny Green. He had a really good game today. Really, really good Danny game. I think like 2 days ago or 2 games ago, he probably had like the worst Danny Green game I've ever seen. Absolutely horrible. He's like throwing the ball to the other team, like breaking wide open shots. He was just playing horrible defense. Like it's not that Danny Green plays horrible defense. It's that like I said this in another video, but it's just so true that he just overthinks like on defense sometimes, and he puts himself in a weird position where he just has no business being, and it's like they just walk right to the basket. It's like they're just like, oh, it's that easy, like, and it's like 'cause he's overthinking how to defend this person because he knows that if he just plays straight up defense, that he's just not fast enough anymore. He's not quick enough anymore to really guard somebody in that way. So he has to think the game instead of like just playing it like an athlete. And that's where he kind of gets fucked on defense. On offense, it's the same story. Danny Green, he should not dribble the ball more than once. Every time Danny Green puts the ball on the ground twice, I cringe. I just be like, Danny, please pass the fucking basketball. Please pass the ball. Please pass the ball. I just say it over and over again every time that happens because I just want him to pass the ball. And he had one game or one play today where he dribbled the ball maybe like 6 times and he actually made the shot. And I was like blown away. I was like about to fall out of my fucking chair. I could not believe that Danny Green did that shit. I was like, dude, did I just in my eyes? It was like when Furkan made a floater for fucking once. Like I was like, oh my god, this is the are we in end times right now? Is the world about to implode on itself? Furkan doesn't do that. Danny Green doesn't dribble the ball more than once and have good things happen. It just doesn't happen. It's the thing that doesn't happen. It just seems impossible to me. But it happened today, and I got to give it to Danny. He had a really good game. So, other than that, I don't think I have much else to say. This video has been going on for quite a long time, so you know, that's really the end of it. Sixers, what, 30-13, still holding on to the number one seed in the East. Let's keep that going. Probably gonna need that home court advantage because we're still good at home, even though fans have only been allowed in for like 5 games this season, or whatever the fuck. Like, still, for some reason, Sixers don't lose in Philadelphia, or very rarely do. So I would like to play more games in Philadelphia in the playoffs. So let's keep winning, get that number one seed secured, and you know, let's just be happy. Let's get Embiid back, man. Let's get Embiid back. Let's get this thing rolling, and go Sixers, man. See y'all.